Hi, my name's Harvey Goldman, welcome to my channel. This is my review for this, the LTD MH1000ET. And as you can see, the ET means Evertune Bridge. Let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see, this guitar has a flame maple top. Gorgeous. Mahogany body, a maple neck, an ebony fingerboard, and LTD top fret inlays, which are very cool indeed. We do like those. The guitar also has EMG active 81-85 pickups, and these babies absolutely wail. And like all guitars we love, the carpet matches the curtains. Wonderful. It has a 25.5-inch scale length on a set neck with 24 jumbo frets. So first things first, Evertune Bridge. So the weight added to this guitar with the Evertune Bridge, it doesn't weigh any different to the guitar if it had a Floyd Rose. It weighs 5 kilos. The routing is almost the same insofar as the amount of wood that's removed and the amount of metal that replaces it. The route is just a slightly different shape. You can see from the back plate, it is a much larger back plate than you'd get on a Floyd Rose type guitar. The Evertune Bridge does extend all the way pretty much to the middle body part of the guitar there. It uses some fantastic technology to make this work, and I can't implore you enough, if you've never tried an Evertune, if you suffer tuning stability issues, playing live, believe me, this guitar will cure all of them. So you will read on forums, you'll probably see YouTube videos with other guitar players mentioning the Evertune Bridge killed their tone, and it's not good for live situations, etc. I beg to differ. I think the guitar is fantastic live. I think the bridge absolutely makes the live part of any performance completely hassle-free for the guitar player. When I play live, I do 2:45s, sometimes as many as 2 one-hour sets. Normally I'll tune the guitar just before. Very often it doesn't need tuning even out of the case after having done a gig previously. So that in itself is pretty awesome. But I do, as a courtesy to the ears of any listeners, I tune the guitar prior to a live show, and it generally won't need anything the entire show. I've broken strings on an Evertune guitar, not this one, but another one, and the bridge stayed stable. Literally, there was no intonation change, no pitch change in any of the other strings when I broke a string. It was as if it had never happened. On the counter to that, I've played guitar live with fixed bridges from Ibanez, PRS, Gibson. I've played guitar with Floyd Rose, and as we know, if you break a guitar with a Floyd Rose, you need to just run for a backup as fast as possible. So that's not the case with this. So in terms of playability, this guitar does play really fantastically well. LTD is obviously a sub-brand of ESP, who manufacture the Horizons. And this is pretty much a baby ESP, for want of a better expression. You can pick these up, they're Indonesian made, but you can pick these up new for about £1,600, and that is expensive for this type of guitar, but that's because you've got the Evertune Bridge. Without the Evertune, you'd expect to pay about £1,000 to £1,200 for one of these brand new. This one I picked up a lot cheaper, I picked it up for £700. All it needed was a setup and a fresh set of strings, and I was really chuffed with that. So this one is my studio Evertune. I've got another one which is an EC1000, more like a Gibson single cutaway that I play live with. And I have also got I'd say it's a Sunburst or a Honeyburst Evertune as well, which again is an EC1000. I do prefer the shape of the EC1000s just for the aesthetic on stage. But as a studio guitar, this is absolutely killer. So let's get into how it sounds. We've obviously got the EMG 81-85 pickups. We've got a 3-way pickup selector, volume and tone, no coil taps needed. The EMGs are obviously battery fed. You can see the compartment there, and it's a 9-volt battery. So for this live test, I'm using the Legato wireless system as always. I've got a positive grid spark amp, which is a 40-watt model. Okay, so let's run a backing tracking clean. I've got the amp settings on bass and treble midnight. There's a tiny bit of reverb, tiny touch of delay, and let's see what this can do. Okay, yeah, so that sounds really nice. There's a creaminess to the sound of the pickups. When you roll the tone off a little bit, it accentuates that. So this is the tone up on that neck pickup. You can hear that sounds super full. So then you roll the tone down a little bit, roll the volume back a bit, just to take the bite off. And you can hear that cleans right up. So now let's have a look at the middle position. So this is obviously the best of both worlds. 2 pickups combined. So there's the full sound of the neck. You can see that the middle position takes a bit of that fullness away. Still sounds bright, retains the brightness, retains the much of the middle, a lot of the treble, and just rolls that bass off a bit. There's the neck, and there's the middle. It sounds a lot cleaner. Sounds really cool. So now the bridge pickup, and you can hear that's almost all treble. So you really do get a good range of sonic possibilities with this guitar. It's not just EMGs, one trick pony, rock and metal, and that's all you've got. You really can play anything on this guitar. So now let's see what it sounds like with a bit of filth. Let's get into this. And now the middle position. And now let's try that bridge pickup. Gotta love that. That sounds absolutely fantastic. The EMGs really lend themselves to aggressive, distorted music. And as I said, although that's not the only thing they can do, it is something that they obviously excel at. Bit of filth. Well, as you can see, this guitar absolutely wails, whether you're playing jazz, you're playing blues, you're playing metal, rock, whatever you want to play. Okay, so a quick bit about the Evertune Bridge. So in a nutshell, the Evertune Bridge is designed so that you tune with an Allen key like this. Any Allen key will do, but this is the one that comes with the guitar. You put the Allen key into a slot that you see there, and that enables you to tune each string. So you wind the Allen key one way, it tunes the pitch up. You wind it the other way, it tunes the pitch down. Evertune works on basically a counterbalance system. So the strings are all independently sprung inside. As you increase the tension on one string, that then gets compensated inside the bridge. And it means that because they're individually tensioned, it isn't a case of, like on a Floyd Rose, you break one string, everything else goes out of whack. On this, that's not the case. You break one string, it's that string that's gone. The others have got their own tension, which is set. You can do some weird stuff with the Evertune, which is quite cool still. And there are different reasons for needing to do this. But you can have it so that you tune the strings in such a way that you can play a G chord and it will be perfectly in tune. You can play maybe a G chord up here and bend it, and it won't bend. You could do a two-step bend, you could bend the bottom E to the top E. You won't notice any change in pitch, and it takes your ears and your eyes a little bit to get used to. And there are various reasons you'd want to do that. If somebody's got like an overactive vibrato, or perhaps if you just want it purely for rhythm and there are no bends that you need to play, then why would you want to risk any erroneous bending of the strings? You can just set it so that the bends do nothing. The tension you've got is the tension that's there, and the chords that you play ring true no matter how your fingers kind of attack them. You can also set it up in such a way, it might be that you want the bottom three strings to be rigid and have no bend, and you might want the top three strings to be able to bend, and you can set it up that way if you want. So there are numerous ways that you can set it up, and like I said, they've all got different applications in the real world. I have mine set up so that you can bend it as if it's a normal guitar, and that's a choice. The way that you do that, so as you're winding this, once you've got the string more or less in tune with the tuning peg, you then wind it with the Evertune key, and it will reach a point where the guitar tuner at this end actually does nothing. You're winding the tuner, and for about 10 or 15 winds, it won't do anything. And then suddenly the pitch will start to go up very slightly. When that happens, you do a quarter turn back on the tuning peg, and in that position, that will set it so that the guitar is able to do bending on the strings. If you, for example, leave it in the zone where the tuning pegs are doing nothing at this end, then you won't get any string bending. So you can kind of tailor it to your needs. It's really cool. I say it takes a bit of getting used to. A lot of people are worried about using it. It's technology that's not been around for an incredibly long time. But for live applications, I don't believe that you can find a better tuning system on any guitar. I've played these live probably for around 3 years, and I can't fault them. And I've got all kinds of guitars. You'll see them coming up in different videos. I always come back to Evertune. The only preference is the bridge behaves the same no matter what the guitar is. The only preference, I guess, is the weight, the feel of the body, the type of neck or pickups that you like. But if you've got a favourite guitar shape, a favourite configuration, try and find it with an Evertune. They are absolutely fantastic. In fact, I think LTD and Solar were among the first companies to use this system. Others have now jumped on board, and you can find them, I believe Jackson do Jackson Evertunes. You can also have them added as an aftermarket mod, and if you've got a guitar that's a Floyd Rose, then you can, with a little bit of patience and a good luthier, you can take the Floyd Rose out. They cut a bit more wood away, and you can drop an Evertune in there. And I did consider doing that to my floral gem right before I got rid of it. And I kind of wish I'd done it. I would have liked to have had an Evertune floral gem. That would be quite cool. But yeah, so there you go. So this is the LTD MH1000ET. If you see one in the wild, play it. If you get the chance to buy an Evertune guitar, buy one, and I promise you, you'll never look back. So I've been Goldman. Peace out.